the situation we have with the Jubilee Party that's been formed is where you have a collection of parties that formed a coalition, deciding that we now, since we share the same ideologies, we share the same principles, let's now become one entity. And now wants to carry their members along, including those who are elected. So in essence, it's a good way of taming people who have already started probably being disgruntled over other issues from running away from where the party is going. You see, the current situation is where you have the Political Parties Act says if my party is dissolved, all merges with another party, and I want to retain my seat, and I don't want to join them, I still retain my seat as an independent. So here we have a situation where, even in terms of numbers, they want a situation where you retain your numbers, but under a new identity. I think Jubilee will have its way. The amendment is going to Parliament. Jubilee has the numbers. It's not a constitutional amendment, it's just a basic amendment to a statute. So then they don't even need all of them to be there. They just need the support of a few members and they will pass it. In essence, what these parties have decided and have agreed to do is dissolve, meaning they no longer exist. And therefore, they won't share the funding. And the funding will have to be shared now as part of Jubilee Alliance. You know, what the tricky situation this party gives or brings forth is the fact that it's not a coalition. So you cannot have an agreement between parties and say, when this kitty comes, we'll share it this way. This is a situation where now you have a new party, you all are under that party, and if the funds will come to that party. And so you'll have to utilize it as a party. And so obviously, there are parties that if they don't join, if they don't decide not to dissolve, may have to be locked out of the fund from what the new party will get. There are people breaking off from what was known as the Jubilee Coalition. We have people in URP who are not for the idea of getting to one party, and some of them may decide to break off. What will happen is that Uhuru and his re-election is that Uhuru will have a party that most likely will give him a majority. You see, like, for instance, right now, Uhuru does not have a majority in Parliament if it's not for the coalition. His TNA party does not have a majority. But now, when they have the situation where the Jubilee coalition now becomes a party, the Jubilee party, that means that now they will have more numbers in Parliament. In terms of his re-election, I think depends basically on how they brand the party, how they brand him as an individual. And as we know of our politics, the candidate is the party is the candidate. So it depends on how they brand him and how they will be able to circumvent the issues that are coming up, the issues that he is facing, the challenges that he is facing, the promises that are broken from the last manifesto. So all those things will play a part